Hi, I'm Noah, and today I'm going to teach you how to cook spicy turkey chili. The day before you start cooking, you should put some kidney beans in a bowl of water and let them soak overnight. The amount of kidney beans in cups is equal to the relative minimum from x equals -2 to 2 of f of x equals 2x cubed minus 3 over 2x squared minus 3x plus 7 over 2, so 1 cup of kidney beans. Put a pan on your stove and put olive oil in it, just enough to cover the bottom of the pan, and preheat it at high heat. Once the olive oil is almost smoking, put the turkey in. The amount of ground turkey in pounds is equal to the limit as x approaches infinity of f of x, where f of x equals the square root of 36x to the power of 4 plus 8x cubed plus 2x over 3 divided by 2x squared plus 6x plus 1, so 3 pounds of ground turkey. While the turkey is cooking, add some salt, some cumin seed, some thyme, and some ground black pepper. While the turkey is cooking, move it around to make sure that it cooks evenly and don't let it burn on the bottom of the pan. Once the turkey is light brown, move it into the slow cooker. Instead of cleaning the pan, save it. We're going to use it later. Take the beans that were soaking overnight, drain them, rinse them, and then put them in a pot with just enough water to cover the beans. Put them on the stove at medium-high heat and bring them to a slow boil. The beans should cook for a number of hours equal to the absolute maximum of f of x from -1 to 1.5, where the second derivative of f of x is 24x squared plus 12x minus 8. The first derivative of f at 0 is -6, and f at 0 is -133 over 128. So, about 1 hour. While the beans are cooking, stir them around to make sure that they don't get burned, and don't let any of them get stuck to the bottom of the pan. When the beans are done, they should be soft. Finally, mince some onions. The number of onions is equal to the area under the polar curve r equals 2 times the secant of theta, from theta equals 0 to theta equals pi over 4, so 2 medium onions. Chop some celery. The number of celery stalks is equal to the volume of a solid whose base is the region enclosed by f of x equals 5x squared minus 6x, x equals 0, x equals 1, and y equals 0, and whose cross-sections taken perpendicular to the x-axis are squares. So, 2 stalks of celery. Chop some green peppers. The number of green peppers is equal to the speed at t equals pi of a particle with y equals 3 over 2 cosine t over 6, and the second derivative of x equals square root of 3 over 2 pi to the power of 4 times t to the power of 3 plus 1 over 3 pi, where the derivative of x at 0 is -1 over 3. So, 1/4 of a green pepper. Take the pan that you used to cook this turkey, put it on a stove, and set it to medium heat. Put some olive oil in it, just enough to cover the bottom, and heat it like you did with the turkey. Then add the celery, onions, and pepper, and put them in the pan. Add some thyme. Cumin seed, salt, and ground black pepper. Cook the onions until they're starting to get a little black, and make sure you move them around so that they don't get burned. Once the onions are a little black, add the garlic, and then lower the heat to about medium-low. The number of tablespoons of minced garlic is equal to the slope of the tangent line of f of x at x equals pi over 2, where f of x equals ln absolute value secant of x minus pi over 4 minus cosine x plus x, so 3 tablespoons of minced garlic. Continue cooking during the next few steps. Add some crushed tomatoes and tomato paste to the slow cooker. The number of cans of crushed tomatoes is equal to the integral from x equals pi to x equals 2 pi of the function secant squared x minus sine x, so 2 cans of crushed tomatoes. The amount of cans of tomato paste is equal to the radius of convergence of the Maclaurin polynomial in -1 to the power of n plus 1 times x to the power of n plus 4 over 6n plus 5, so 1 can of tomato paste. Now turn your attention back to the pan that you have on the stove. Cook until the garlic starts to get brown, and then move the ingredients to the slow cooker. Put the pan back on the stove and turn up the heat. Pour the wine into the pan. The amount of red wine in cups is equal to the third derivative of f of x at 2 pi, where f of x equals 8 sine x over 2, so 1 cup of red wine. The wine will help you scrape up the little bits of food that are still left on the pan. Once you've scraped up all those little bits, pour it into the slow cooker with the wine. Once the beans are done, put those into the slow cooker and mix well. Then, add the chopped habaneros or scotch bonnets, whichever one you chose. The number of habaneros is equal to the area bound by x equals 0 and the curves f of x equals 6 cosine x minus 0.0589 and f of x equals sine x, so 5 habaneros. Add some chili powder. Some basil. Add some ground red pepper. Add some ground cumin. Add some bay leaves. Add some red pepper flakes. Add some black pepper. Add some chipotle powder. Once everything else is in the slow cooker and has been mixed well, leave it on high until it reaches a number of degrees equal to the average value of f of x from x equals 5 to x equals 10, where f of x equals 3 over 2x squared plus 35 over 3x. So, 175 degrees Fahrenheit. Once it reaches that temperature, set the slow cooker to low and leave it to simmer for a number of hours equal to the arc length of f of x from x equals 18 over 49 to x equals 54 over 49, where f of x equals 28 over 9x to the power of 3 over 2 plus 7. So, 3 hours. After you've let the chili simmer, it should be ready to serve.